It's July 1943, and the largest tank battle in history is raging on all around us. 2 million men and 6,000 tanks collide in a desperate clash lasting for approximately 7 weeks. This is the Battle of Kursk, the largest combined arms battle in history, stretching from Ural in the north, Kursk in the center, and Belgorod in the south. Fielding fewer men and machines, the Wehrmacht are attempting to cut off the Soviet salient stretching 160 kilometers in depth and 250 kilometers in height, only to eventually fail. Because they never played Total War. But unlike this Total War, the Battle of Kursk is the very definition of Total War, with extra attrition and logistic penalty mechanics. Nikolai and his men are digging in north of the Kursk Salient, near a village on the Snov River area just west of Ponyeri, where the Germans are attempting to make a bridgehead over the river. Maxim seems to have sobered up a bit after Stalingrad, where the men have collectively regained their lost body weight from weeks of starving in the cold. They appreciate the fact that winter is over, and they no longer have to sleep in piles for preservation. As both have nearly died a few times, Nikolai and Maxim are on better terms. They work together in the present and share stories from the Komsomol, and generally command the respect of those who've been around since the beginning, even from men nearly twice their age. Nothing commands more respect than a set of binoculars with bullet marks on it. Today we're joined by paratrooper units who are formerly a part of the VDV, the Soviet Air Force, although they've recently undergone a delicate rebranding campaign, and are now considered guards rather than riflemen. As you can imagine, such a simple label might have upset them, given the events preluding this moment. They don't jump out of planes no more, to put it plainly. As of July 1943, the VDV had endured the Great Purge, numerous failed operations, and suffered massive casualties. The Stavka saw it fit to repurpose the remaining units as shock troops. They kept their elite status and guards titles, but they fight strictly as elite conventional shock infantry. And elite they are. These guys have plenty of health and are highly skilled with weaponry. They carry excellent weapons too. The best part is you can unlock them very early, costing only 8 research points. However, so depleted are the VDV, they don't even come with shovels, so make sure you provide for them. We also have the Osnaz detachments. These aren't regular army. They're specialized NKVD units tasked with sabotage, reconnaissance, and keeping a very close eye on partisan loyalty. Heavily armed with submachine guns and high-quality explosives, the Osnaz are feared by the Germans and probably feared by the villagers too. We'll be distributing these guys around the map to watch the enemy and carry out any special operations as they come with good weapons, stats, and most importantly, they have the stealth perk. And because it's 1943, we've preloaded most of our men with German Panzerschrecks. The Panzerschreck, or Tank Terror, or Stovepipe, is a devastating man-portable rocket-propelled grenade launcher. It was inspired by the American M1 bazooka, captured during the Tunisian campaign in November 1942. While the American bazooka was a 57mm weapon, the German engineers premiumized their version up to a massive 88mm caliber, as bigly as often bestly. It can fire 2 88mm rockets in a minute, a flying shaped charge or heat round at 110 meters a second. It could hit targets up to 110 to 180 meters away. In-game, that's around 85 meters, although you can far shoot with it, which can be helpful in the player's hands. Now, how big is 160 to 200 millimeters of armor pen? That's about the width of your typical Ostfront player's bicep after playing infantry only for 4 months. In other words, it's enough to knock out virtually almost every German tank in 1943, making it a prized weapon and a late-game threat. The Red Army actually received about 3,000 American bazookas through the official Lend-Lease channels, but rejected them. The batteries failed in sub-zero Russian winters, and the short range didn't suit Soviet open-step doctrine. So how did the men get German equipment? Well, the Wehrmacht also had a sort of Lend-Lease program to the Soviets, in that tens of thousands of these weapons were captured during the counter-offensive after Stalingrad. By the end of the war, roughly 300,000 Panzerschrecks were produced, and a good number of those were captured by the Soviets. Early versions of the Panzerschreck lacked a blast shield, meaning the rocket's backblast could severely burn the operator's face. Soldiers actually had to wear gas masks and protective capes just to fire it. By late 1943, they added the rectangular iron shield to prevent injury. Look at him. Just a man and his rocket. He knows what's up. Why are these guys so happy? Well, the vast majority of the Red Army is playing infantry only in 1943 in this sector. So when you finally get this kind of mobile anti-tank capability, it brings a soothing relief, along with tears of joy. Speaking of joy, we have the SG-43 Gurunov medium machine gun. This machine gun was designed to finally replace the heavy water-cooled Maxim 1910, not to be confused with the Epiphone SG, an easy mistake to make. The SG-43 was formally adopted in May 1943. This belt-fed machine gun fires 7.62 by 54mm rounds at 500 to 700 rounds per minute and weighed 13 kgs. That's half the weight of the Maxim. The designer, Pyotr Goronov, wasn't a career engineer. He was a highly skilled craftsman who worked at the Kovrov plant. Alongside his brother Mikhail and his colleague Vasily Vorenkov, a common locksmith, they designed the SG under immense pressure in 1942. During competitive trials, Goronov's simple and rugged design beat out established designer like Vasily Degtyarev. In a moment of integrity and recognition of a superior product, Degtyarev personally recommended Goronov's design to Joseph Stalin, admitting it was a better weapon to suit the market, with its only flaw being it had no drums on it, a real comrade with impeccable integrity. By the end of the war, over 80,000 had been manufactured. Tragically, Mr. Goronov died of exhaustion and stress in December 1943, just as his gun was being mass-produced. His design was so groundbreaking that its horizontal tilting bolt mechanism directly inspired Mikhail Kalashnikov when he created the legendary PKM series, which it and its variants are still manufactured and serving today. In 2020, the Bank of Russia even honored him with a commemorative 25 ruble coin. If you want to truly deep dive into this weapon, I highly recommend checking out the video by Forgotten Weapons. If I'm ASD level 1 on the gun spectrum, Ian McCollum is the Temple Grandin of firepower, and his video on the SG-43 is worth checking out. Affectionately known as Gun Jesus, Ian takes you through each and every detail of the weapon. Now that I'm at 400 subscribers, I think it's important to pay it forward to some of the smaller channels out there. In-game, I've noticed this gun shoots in a tighter cone than the Maxim. Just don't tell Luca or Dennis I said that. Finally, we're getting around to the Soviet squad-level DP-27 light machine gun, along with its coaxial tank variant, the DT-29. Designed by Mr. Drum Magazine himself, Vasily Degtyarev, the DP-27 was adopted in 1928 and remained a staple for nearly a century. The DP-27 is instantly recognizable by the massive top-mounted 47-round drum. The Red Army soldiers affectionately nicknamed it the record player, because the drum would rotate as it played its own special genre of music, lead metal. The DP-27 and the DT variant fires 7.62 by 54mm at 550 rounds per minute and weighed 9.12 kgs. While the DP-27 is a reliable squad automatic weapon, Degtyarev's obsession with drums had some frustrating side effects inside armor vehicles. If you've ever wondered why your T-34 or KV-1 coaxial machine gun keeps needing to reload, that's because it only has 60 rounds in its drum magazine. While you're in the turret desperately swapping out empty drums, you'll be staring enviously at the enemy's belt-fed MG-34, which is casually chewing through 250-round belts while the operator browses a steam summer cell with his free hand. Speaking of which, if you want to get that big Kursk flavor, I recommend the Ostfront campaign mod, 1943 Battle of Kursk, by AKR3D. It's polished and has plenty of content for you to experience. And if you want the de facto Kursk tanker experience, I recommend Tank Squad. It has a campaign for the Soviets and the Germans during the Battle of Kursk. I wasn't a tank bro last year, but now I'm on that tank train, and it's owing to TS. Both Tank Squad and Ostfront are on sale at discount prices in the Steam Summer Sale. For this one, we're going to do something a little different, partly to help those playing on hardcore and who cannot handle the overwhelming waves the enemy AI might throw at the player. Nikolai and the men are going to dig in around a concealed position. A small detachment of engineers, paratroopers, and medics are going to dig into the center of the capture point, where we'll encase the entire capture point in tank traps and wire, as well as sandbags for extra concealment. This will mean the enemy will be blocked from getting the last position and negate them from winning, and will be instead left to handle a more gradual stream of armor that'll work its way out to us once we've been scouted out. It's no doubt cheesy, but effective, and although we don't need to do it today, I did see a comment about this infantry only being, well, hardcore on hardcore. This is the solution. I've played infantry only since March, and I've not used a tank or AT gun in 3 months, both on hard and hardcore, and it's all viable. Also, this is day 18. I've also stacked extra units to force the enemy AR to bring more units. So let's get going. And here they come. Got everyone locked in. Just got to close this fence. And our engineers are on the way back. We've got some spotters in the bush. Watching point B. Oh dear. Engineers locked out, I think. Ah, shit. I didn't realize I'd locked him out. I thought I left a gap. I didn't. Sorry, dude. No, we wait. No. Let's switch this on here. Now they're going for point B. Okay, B4. I got a Jägerpanzer. Okay, I'm gonna go try and pull them. So I need someone with a anti-tank gun. PTRD and PTRS will get him. Not a threat at all. These guys are just chilling suspiciously near my stealth unit. 20 meters. Oh no. Okay, don't move. Let me see if I can provoke them. I've got my reticle on the target, even though I cannot pull the trigger, but if I go back to first person. There we go. Got a kill. Now get the others. There we go. Got somebody. Got a second shot. Oh, there we go. Oh, we've got action back at HQ. Get up, dude. Up, up, up. Jackpot. Take it. Sniper, hold your fire. Okay, let's get them up again. Yeah, there we go. Out of action. And he can't turn now. Okay, sniper, you can get busy. Up you get. Yeah, the driver's dead, so it keeps moving. Okay, open fire. Everyone get down. Get down. Down. Machine gun, open up, open up. Oh, the tank is just going in circles. This is the first time this has ever happened in any of my playthroughs. I've usually seen the driver just drive off into the oblivion, but never in circles. he's seen it. He's not happy. Whoever's in there. I took a tank shell in the face. And Jägerpanzer. Where's he going? He's just drawn by whatever's happening in there. Who's got an anti-tank gun? Let me try to pull him. Yeah, this guy. Yes, you can. Okay. Over here, fool. Here he comes. Okay, get up, men. Hold your fire. Out of the bush. Get out of there. Get out of there. Okay, up. Everyone up. Everyone's got an RPG. Thank you. Okay, everyone. Get up. Okay, get down. What are we shooting at here? What's this guy shooting at? Get up, up. The tank is KO. The mission is complete, but it's not complete, if you know what I mean. There's still plenty of armor left. It's all huddled around the capture point. So our men are locked in here. There's probably about 10 units, armored units, circulating around here. I have to pick off one by one. Okay, you gotta get in a trench because you don't know what you're doing. Yep. Panzerschreck shredding. Okay, I'm going to go and free up this position. I'll take out whatever's lurking and then salvage and rearm everyone. We've managed to salvage 2 SDK half-tracks, a Marder 2, a VW82, SDK-222, a KP-3M, KP-3L, a KP-4H, a Stug-3F, 2 Opel Blitzers, 2 Jagdpanzer 38 tank destroyers, and an 88mm flak cannon. Quite the haul. Unfortunately, we lost an engineer that got stuck inside our enclosure, trapped between the outer layer and the inner layer. I couldn't get him into cover in time. We lost an AT rifleman on the mountain, and we lost one of our SG gunners from a random shell. If you close off an enclosure, make sure to keep the tank traps very close together, as placements like AA guns can break open wire fences, so tanks might not break the mesh, but the placements can, which will jeopardize your setup as soldiers will stream into your capture point. Far shooting has been very useful in these setups, as it'll pull in units that are not coming to your defense. Usually I set up a bit closer to the position so that this isn't an issue, but today we set up quite far from the enclosure. I do this with the sniper rifles, AT rifles, and RPGs. By day 7 or 8, you'll need more inventory space to store your MG34s or 42s, excess sniper rifles, bazookas, AT rifles, grenades, SVTs, and other small arms. I use a T27 for my explosives, the ammo cart for small arms ammo, and captured VW in my supply truck for machine guns and other odds and ends. My paratroopers have sniper rifles, machine guns, and bazookas. I also use dedicated bazooka teams, which I offload equipment at the end of each round into a truck and resupply the men after the round. Same goes for AT units and snipers. I simply store them all in stage 3 and bring them in at the end of the round. There's a reason Nikolai's men have some of the strongest quads in the Red Army. They're constantly getting up and down, which I've bound to my control and alt keys. I use trenches exclusively for one AT unit. This avoids losing multiple units if a shell explodes on the wall behind them, and it makes throwing grenades easier, given the importance of the unit's AT role. I leave them lying down by default. If the field is more open, I may pair the unit up with a sniper. If you want to encourage the AI to bring in more units, add tanks and placements in an unused stage. Here I stick 2 88s and a few tanks to up the point usage in the rounds so that AI bring in more units. I don't bring them in, but simply having them will up the unit count. After the Battle of Kursk, and owing to crippling losses, the Wehrmacht lost their initiative permanently and transitioned into a tactical retreat. By late August, the Soviets would liberate the city of Oral, Kharkiv, and Belgorod. By the time the battle was over, the Soviets and Germans lost around roughly 1 million soldiers combined and an estimated 7,000 to 8,000 tanks and AT guns. This outcome paved the way for the Soviet offense, Operation Bagration, of 1944. Thank you to those who've been following the series and who've commented and subscribed. A man can live on 76.2mm for only so long, so there are probably about 2 or 3 more of these in the Red Army experience. Also, I'm going to run out of Soviet small arms eventually. If there are any Soviet small arms or infantry units in Ostfront that I might have missed or you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments. Thanks again, and I'll see you all again soon. Cheers.